All right, so I want to go over my Hard Korr lighting I bought last September for hunting. I bought these lights because I needed something that was faster just because of the nature of how me and my buddy hunt. I wanted something that was really easy to use in the morning. This is a time of the year where I don't even need an awning out because it's cool at night. It's pretty hot in the day, I guess, but I'm not really at the truck. But having a lit area where I can get my stuff ready, get my bow out, get dressed, eat something in the morning, this was really nice to have. So this was a super easy install. The only thing I have any problem with these lights is the adhesive that comes on the back of these strips is junk. Like, I couldn't hang it on this. I cleaned everything off with an alcohol wipe, let it evaporate off, and then when you try to stick these on, it was just coming right off. So I ended up using VHB, which stands for very high bonding 3M tape, to stick these on, and it's the same way I stuck the one on the back of my door. And I only use strips of, like, this one's probably 3 inches, this one's probably 4 inches. I use sections like that on top of the 3M tape that they included. The lights have no problem, they're not falling off. They come designed to plug into a 12-volt socket, kind of like a cigarette lighter plug. But what I did is I ran it to the power. I soldered it into my Anderson plug that's going into my alley cab tent. So it's just pulling power from exactly where it would be, only I cut the wiring to do it because it's just a positive and negative. And then that whole thing is fused. It's the same as if I would have plugged it into the cigarette lighter port in there. So what I did is I ran my wiring up here. I used adhesive zip tie anchors so I could zip tie it all in place. The whole awning closes with it like this. And then my controls right here, you can dim these. So it comes with the dimmer switch in the kit that I bought. You can get all sorts of different combinations of lights and stuff, and you can wire a lot of them in with each other. You can add on to the system, which is really cool. Another feature of these, which is a huge thing for me, because we dealt with so much bugs in Dinosaur National Monument last year on our way to Yellowstone, is the bug mode. So these have an orange light. And I never knew about this until I was reading about the Australians, and they use it a lot, and they've got worse bug problems than we have. But we are getting eaten alive this year by mosquitoes. So it's amazing because I walked away from this thing and I had these on, and the bottom of the awning was covered in insects of all sorts. And I'm talking like covered. And then I came back over, and it's not like when you turn this on, they just all fly away. But I turned them on, walked away, and then I came back like 10 minutes later to grab a beer or something, and most of the bugs had taken off to go find somebody else's camp because their lights were brighter. So anyway, these orange lights really do work. They're not 100%. There's still a few bugs that come looking, but it is very effective. It was very surprising to me. I didn't know if it was a gimmick or anything like that. These are well worth the money in my eyes. I've got light everywhere, and it's fantastic, and it was super easy to wire this thing. Now, I did poke a hole in my awning cover here, and I squirted some RTV in there to kind of help plug that, just so any water that could have gotten in is less likely to get in. I'll go up into the tent and turn the camera on, and in post-production, what I'll do is I will, just because the camera never picks up quite what the lighting is accurately, I'll boost it to where you can kind of tell. I'll get it as accurate as I can by eye of how bright these actually are, because I don't know if you can tell on camera. But these things right now, they may not look like much, but when you're at camp, these are a lot of light. On-off switch you can get, there's a dimmer switch. They sell a wireless switch where you basically get a key fob, kind of like you have for unlocking your car, and you can turn them on with that, and I think it dims them too. I'm personally not interested in that. I don't want the unnecessary complicated gadget that, I don't know, I'd rather just have a knob to turn it up and turn it down. And it's right here, it's accessible, it's easy to get to. And so even in the dark, I can fumble my way through here and find this. Wiring it was as simple as there's a hot wire and a ground wire if you cut the plug like I did, or if you don't want to do that and you want to plug it into 12 volt cigarette lighter plug, you can do that as well. You could unplug it because these cable connectors here are a quick unscrew and they unplug. And the power source is kind of the same thing. You could just have this, plug it in every time you use it, plug it in right there. And then you didn't have to modify, poke holes in your $1,500 awning or anything like that. So the strips on the back or on the underside of the awning, those are the flexible roll. They have marks on them where you can cut them, I believe. I believe that's what all those are for. You can trim them down to size the way they're designed, which is pretty cool. I don't think I had to trim either of mine. but I do want to get a shorter one for my center awning piece just to fill in the light. Anyway, so they have those ones, and then they have this style, which is a hard covered light. And these are pretty neat as well. This one also has the dimming option. So one of the features of these is when you have the lights off, this green light's on. When you turn it on, light turns off. So in the dark, it's easy to find. That is really nice for waking up, especially in my situation. Waking up in the middle of the night or early in the morning for a hunting thing and getting ready before the sun comes up, it's nice just knowing where that's at. In the tent though, it's kind of annoying. I guess you could just put a piece of tape over that. But anyway, it's good for most applications, but the tent one is kind of annoying. I don't really like it that much just because it's one bit of light that I don't want in the tent. And you just press in on it, turns orange, press in on it, turns back to white. I did this one aside from the awning, just because in certain situations there's going to be times where like I'm getting into the back of this and I don't have the awning out, so I wanted an extra light right here. These zip tie anchors are super cheap. You can get like 100 of them for $5. It kind of keeps it organized enough. This is on with 3M, so I don't like drilling holes if I don't have to. 3M tape, the very high bonding 3M tape they use to keep windows in skyscrapers, believe it or not. So you can trust it to hold your wiring on your truck. Don't be scared. Because if I'm cooking and the bugs start bothering me, I can turn on the orange light. It's really nice. I thought I wanted red light more because I was looking at some of the National Luna lighting, which are really nice as well. But I'm kind of glad I went with the orange. Red's a little bit easier on the eyes and stuff, but this is as well. And another nice thing about these is when you do switch that, when you turn it off, it doesn't reset. So when you turn it back on the next time, it'll still be orange, it'll still be white. So it's cool when I get up in the middle of the night. It is nice being able to leave it on orange, which I normally do, especially in the tent, and then I can just turn it on super dim like that. It's not blinding, it's enough light to where you can see, you can get out of the ladder or get down on the ladder and come down, and you're not blinding yourself, waking yourself up, you know. So it is a really nice feature to have, and so whatever you leave it on is what it will turn back to as soon as you turn it on again the next time. And now I'm gonna go up and show you the one in the tent, and then that'll be the conclusion of these. But I do really recommend these lights. They are awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna zip the darkest place I have access to right now. That's about how bright these things get. And this one in particular is just, if you can see that, it's just like a clip-on sort of thing. So I didn't even have to do anything. I just kind of stuck it there and it works great. But like I said, whenever this is off, that green light comes on. That's kind of annoying, but it's not a deal breaker for sure. And then, I forget how I had this. I guess normally I took the mattress out. Normally this is a little tighter, so it kind of hangs over there, and it's normally hanging about like that, so it doesn't get in the way of anything. It doesn't bother me. I was hoping when I bought it that it would fit from side to side perfectly, but it does not. Better than the factory included stuff. And this one I didn't wire it in. It just plugs into the 12-volt plug down here that the tent comes with. And then I actually got a splitter so I could run other 12-volt accessories as well. This light is perfect for a tent. This light actually has the loops on the back are like Velcro loops, and I think it's intended for like an awning, typical awning with like the tubes, like an ARB, or a rooftop tent that has the tubes on the inside of it. You could just really easily wrap it around that and leave it installed. And then this one as well, you click it and it's an orange light. And the huge benefit for a tent light that turns orange like that is before we climb up here, when we're kind of winding down saying goodnight to everybody around the campfire, I'll come over and turn this on to the orange light like this. And so no bugs will be following us in for the most part. I've had very little problems with bugs since I put this one in. In my opinion, these are some of the best options because they're dimmable and because they have 2 light modes built into them. Yeah, Hard Korr Lighting. Check them out. All right, guys, if you have any questions about the lighting, let me know. There might have been something I forgot. Happy to go over it. Just let me know in the comments.